This is Jordan Tower with JT News, and we got J Hood in the building with his new album.
Self. Available right now on all digital streaming platforms. Make sure you go pick that up. Support your boy.
At 100 million, would I still be the coldest? What if I had a hit with Drake? Would I still go unnoticed? What if Pac ain't died at night and him?
Definitely make sure I'm going to put a link below where you can go check out his whole catalog on Spotify. I'm going to put Spotify link in there because that's the most popular one, but you can get it on anything you got.
On Spotify, Apple, Google Play, wherever you get your music from.
Absolutely. So what we're going to talk about now is I'm sure a lot of people are interested to know, because you haven't really spoke on this really, your thoughts on the LOX versus Dipset versus where unexpectedly, I'm sure you were rooting for the LOX, but a lot of people had Dipset winning that because of all their commercial hits, forgetting all the songs that Jadakiss, Styles, and Sheik were doing. I mean, not the features even they were doing,
right? All
those years, and it was like Jadakiss was so calculated and sharp that night that he took it over. What did you think about it?
I think it was a great battle, man. I mean, a great versus. You know what I'm saying? To be real with you, like you said though, Kiss was just over the top with it. You know what I'm saying? He came in and just hit him with an uppercut, and they couldn't counter that.
Yeah, nah, it was you saw how the LOX just knows each other so well on stage, and they were speaking like without speaking, through their minds. They were just connected where, Styles knew when to let Jadakiss go, Jadakiss knew when to let Styles go, and Sheik knew when to chime in on his little stuff, you know what I mean? And like just add a little.
Yeah, the chemistry was unmatched, man, and you could see that the chemistry with Dipset wasn't as strong as the chemistry with the LOX was. It was evident that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, and plus Kiss, what he did was he kind of not only did he take the verses over, but he shifted the energy from making it about hit songs to bars. You know what I'm saying? He took it to the mixtape element of things.
Yeah.
And then, try to step into his realm as far as like spitting lyrics. And you can't do that. So he had him in that lane, and that's where he just crumbled him.
Yeah, I remember Cameron was realizing that they totally lost the verses at the end, and he tried to throw a little freestyle in, and everyone was like, boo, and then he was like, all right. He took his loss like a man, though. At the end, he just gave him a pound. He said, whatever, I tried.
Yeah, it was over at that point, man. It's like nothing that they could do. I mean, like, and what was so crazy about the whole shit, and it was funny, the shit was hilarious. When Kiss grabbed Joel's bandana over his head and threw it to the fucking stage on the ground, yo, that shit had me crying. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He was like, yo, stop trying to look cute for the verses, man. Like,
yeah, that shit was crazy.
I think he even did an egg.
I was in LA when that took place, right? And so many,
they expected you to come out. A lot of people were anticipating you coming out, right?
Yeah, mad people was hitting me up on every social media account that I have, down to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everybody like, yo, I know they gonna bring you out. I know they bringing you out. Tell me they bringing you out. Tell me they bring you out. Me, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't responding nothing. I let people think whatever they thought, and you know what? Let me just go ahead and let them, guess. You know what I mean? Think whatever they're gonna think and build the anticipation up. But like I said, I was in LA, so I knew I wasn't coming.
Yeah.
See me out, but it was kind of cool to watch people think that I was coming out.
So what'd you think about J.R. Ryder, Hell Rell, and 40 Cal being in the crowd and not coming up?
I spoke to Ryder probably like, I don't know if it was that night or the day after, and he told me he was there because I had no idea that he was there either. But I mean, I don't know. He said they walked the fighter out before that versus and shit like that, so they couldn't go on stage contractually or something like that. But I don't think it would have mattered anyway if they would have brought them on stage.
Yeah, I don't think it was a contract thing. I think it was just like, because there's a big divide between. I mean, there's a big divide in Dipset. Period. If you know the inner workings, like just know how people are in Dipset. I'm sure you know. So like J.R. Ryder, Hell Rell, and 40 Cal, they weren't gonna have that was. They wanted all that shine themselves. Especially Jim Jones. Come on.
I can see that.
Let's just be real.
But even like I said, even if they would have brought them, and then I fuck with Ryder. That's
No, Ryder would have helped them.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have made it better.
Kiss
it wouldn't have
swung,
made it.
Kiss
It wouldn't have tilted it.
You know, he swung the guillotine, man. He chopped heads off and all that. No way, but it would have been. It wouldn't have made no type of difference. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
But Ryder's the only one that could have.
Swinging that motherfucking sword. You know, like goddamn King Arthur and shit. So
Ryder would have probably just given him a couple freestyles as well, but it wouldn't have had the same impact.
Right. Yeah.
But it would have been something.
Yeah, it would have been cool to watch. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been like it would have been the cherry on top, just like it would have been the cherry on top if they would have brought me out for the 2 guns up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it was what it was, and it was a historic Verzuz, and it's history at this point, and LOX walked away with that W.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones because there's a lot that are unmemorable, but there's a few that are memorable, like the Gucci Man and Jeezy one, and stuff like that. But the LOX,
Snoop joint,
the DMX Snoop one was okay to me. I mean, it was just cool to see those two, but like DMX would have been better with somebody else that he was more competitive with.
I mean,
DMX is a competitive person. I'm sure.
So you don't think that Snoop was competition to X? Snoop got hits, man.
No. It's not about the hits. I'm talking about Snoop got hits, right? But DMX would have been better against somebody that can like just go off the top. Like he would have been better off with somebody from New York or something. I don't know.
I mean, I think they was probably trying to, the whole dog concept. They probably ran with that, you know what I'm saying? Him being a dog and Snoop.
I would have rather seen DMX versus Ja Rule. Just because of their history.
I wouldn't have been mad at that.
It would have been more interesting to me than Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop Dogg, to me, would go up against somebody else.
I don't know. I think they, on top of the dog concept, I think they were just trying to do the bi-coastal thing. One large, one huge artist from the West Coast and one huge artist from the East.
Swiss is always going to help out DMX anyway, so he's going to be like, yo, we'll just pair you. We'll just get you doing this,
Right. And I mean, and there was a few verses that I had no idea took place also, man. It's like, but the whole Verzuz thing is cool. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool. I think it's over though.
Think so?
I mean, people are always going to watch it. It's not okay. I'll just say this: for me, it's not interesting anymore. I'm sure it's interesting to other people.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you get somebody like if you did T.I. versus Jeezy, that would be interesting to me. I
personally think Verzuz is, and this is not me taking shots at anybody, but I think Verzuz is more so for the older OG artists that's probably like on their way out type of shit. Yeah. They got like real hits.
Showcase their catalog and everything, right?
Yeah. And as far as what you just said, man, that's interesting because I had literally had a half-hour argument with this store owner in the South about the possibility of 50 and T.I. versus.
Oh yeah.
And he was trying to argue me down that T.I. would smoke 50 in the Verzuz. I'm like, yo, dude.
Nah.
Let me get some of that Shinola that you drinking, man. Like,
yeah.
It's clear that you're drunk. Something wrong with you, man.
Yeah, T.I. is T.I. is one of my favorite South artists catalog-wise, but a lot of it's super dated. Some of 50 stuff is dated. Like Candy Shop is dated, even though it was a hit record. It's like, if you came out with that now, it'd be like, But for the time, and 50 has a lot of records. He can go into the whole G Unit catalog.
He could dig in that bag, man, and go crazy. Like we can't forget that, man. And I forgot to even mention to go back to the whole Dipset and the LOX thing, man. I really thought that Dipset was gonna go crazier than they went. You know what I'm saying? Because their catalog is so ill. You know what I'm saying? But I think they messed up with their track list and the way they had their songs ordered.
They're not. You could tell that they're not like they were before. Like when they had their beefs with each other, Cameron and Cameron and Jim Jones had been going on before people even knew about it. Cameron and Joel's went on for a while, and things were said and things were done that broke that deep bond that the LOX never broke. They've had their problems behind the scenes, but always worked it out behind the scenes, you know. And when things become public, it's just different.
Yeah, and I think that was real visible that night. You know what I'm saying? Like they were getting each other's
like,
words. It wasn't as in sync as the LOX was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you could. It's nice Dipset's back together, and they were allowed. They allowed themselves to forgive each other and like be cool again. But it's almost like if you cheated on, you know, I'm just relating it to this. It's not the same thing, but like, you know, when you cheat on a girl cheats on you, that bond is broken. I'm just relating it to that because that's what a lot of people can relate to. It's just when your friend betrays you and you feel betrayed,
yeah,
it's hard to trust them the same way as you did before.
Right, and just to build on that, I think that shit still haunts them because, man, Jim don't want to let that go, man. He like, nah, man, the verses with Kiss. Nah, I smoke him, man. Yo, bro, Kiss ain't giving you no verses.
I mean, you know, Jim Jones has really stepped his music up.
Jim got some dope albums though. I do.
And I'm actually as much as Jim Jones like makes me cringe with some of the stuff he does, that stuff, the music, he's got the torch for Dipset right now.
That's a fact, and that's crazy.
He stepped his whole game up. Like I respect that part. That part I totally respect because
who would have ever thought?
It just, yeah, like he really put the work in and became a great artist.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, he's got the A&R and everything down, you know, whatever.
Got an ear for production. His songs are good. And like I said, his albums,
yeah.
he has multiple good albums.
He does.
That's all.
So let everybody know what album you got out.
Self, the album is out right now on all digital streaming platforms. I need everybody to go pick that up, download it, or stream it, whatever you do, just make sure you get it. Once you get that, make sure you visit the rest of my catalog, Pesci 1, Pesci 2, Pesci 3, get Fourth Lot, get Savages from me and Yuck Mouth, get the Infamous in the Hood from me and Big Twin of Infamous Mob, and get the rest of my projects, get that Grams in the Hood EP I just threw out in January. And
what's your YouTube?
Yeah, go on my YouTube, man. Just type in J Hood, man. You know what I mean? Run my numbers up. It's YouTube/Real J Hood, I think.
I've been trying to tell him on his YouTube to start painting on there and start doing cooking stuff too, like so it's not just music.
Right, yeah, because I do a whole bunch of different stuff, like you said, the music. I do
right behind him.
I definitely do this paint behind me. I do abstract paintings. I do realistic portraits.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do the cooking, and I do a number of things. I just need everybody to support your boy. You know what I mean? Doing it all independent. And
you're versatile. That you're more than just music. You do a lot of stuff.
Definitely more than
that people would be surprised to know about you, and I think that's what would be nice on your YouTube if you started expanding on that.
Right. I do poetry as well. I released an ebook earlier this year called Invisible Jury. That's on Amazon right now. It's a book of life quotes and words to live by. Last year, I released a collection of poetry in ebook form, and I also put it out on all streaming platforms in spoken word form, so you can go pick that up as well.
All righty. Well, all right, guys. It's JordanTower, JT News.
Yes, sir.
There was no more hate. What if Pop Smoke ain't posting pics he put on the gram? What if he did a joint with Rowdy after he got out the can? What if Big switch trucks with Puff?